Despite the fact that Twitter is at least 7 years old now, or depending on when you're watching this, maybe even older, there are still a lot of people that don't understand how to use Twitter to grow their business. It's a great platform if it's used correctly. In case you're not familiar with Twitter, it's a social networking site, much like you would see with Facebook or Instagram or some of these others. But it only allows you to send or receive messages that are only up to 140 characters long. They're called tweets. These are really short messages, and the idea is just really brief bursts of information. One of the great uses that I used when I was in television was to disseminate TV news, breaking news. It was the number one place I would start when I was posting breaking news would be on Twitter. Before we would even do the website or anything else, Twitter was always the first place to go because it's instant. You can reach people quickly, a mass amount of people in a short amount of time with Twitter. So it's very useful about that. Businesses can use Twitter as well. It's very effective if used correctly. So here are 8 ways you can use Twitter to grow your business. Number 1, frequency. The key with Twitter is frequency, which is different than a typical Facebook strategy. The reason is the algorithms. Twitter just sorts everything chronologically in your news feed, whereas something like Facebook, you're going to have an algorithm, and if you post a lot and they don't get a lot of likes and comments and you get dinged for that and your stuff doesn't get shown up as much to as many of the people that follow you. Twitter is all about frequency because, let's say, and I use the example on my blog, if you had 101 people following you, or a user had 101 people they were following, and Twitter, by default, when you open the app or go to twitter.com to your newsfeed, is going to display the 100 most recent tweets. Well, if you haven't tweeted in over an hour and the other 100 people have, then your tweet's not going to be visible unless they physically load more tweets, which doesn't happen as much as you think. So the key here is to tweet frequently. I encourage my clients to at least tweet 4 times a day. I prefer a lot more. If you can, that's great. It can be done. There's a lot of useful apps like that, such as Buffer app, with bufferapp.com. I'm a big fan of. But you need to tweet at least 4 times a day, in my opinion, to be effective to try to reach all those day parts. And scatter it out through the day. Don't tweet 4 times in the morning and then not do anything in the afternoon or the evening as well. Follow back your followers is number 2. You've got people that have decided, they've made the conscious effort to follow you on Twitter. Why can't you do the common courtesy and just follow them back? Just as a thank you. If they're that interested in your product, you should be just as interested in them as a customer. And again, this is a social networking site. So keep that in mind when you're making your plans to be social with your digital customers or potential customers. Follow them back. It doesn't cost you anything. It just takes a little bit of effort to do it. Retweets. Don't be afraid to retweet other people. Some people are real touchy about this. They don't want to retweet something that's not theirs, that's not a product of theirs or something they've posted on their blog. Your goal here, as I've talked about on my website, is to become a digital authority on your product or service. And to do that, you've got to show that you're in touch with other sources out there that are also in your product or service. But if it shows that you are completely in touch with everything going on in the world, you will become more relevant. You will look bigger in the eyes of your customers and potential clients. So don't be afraid to retweet other people, especially if what you're retweeting is useful to your clients and your potential customers. The key there is if it's useful, don't be afraid to retweet it. Pictures, videos, presentations, they're great for Twitter as well. Twitter has its default uploader program in its app and on the website where you can upload pictures into there. It will automatically display in the stream. You don't have to go to a third-party site to see that. Videos as well, if you use Vine. That's something that Twitter bought in January of 2013. The Vine app on your mobile device. You can upload pictures to Vine, put the link there in your Twitter feed, and it automatically will show that video. The catch there, though, the video has to be 6 seconds or less. There's some really, really cool stuff that you can do, though, in 6 seconds. Check out, if you go to my blog and look, I put a link to the Lowe's campaign. They did a how-to campaign with some nifty little pieces of information there. So check that out as well. And then PowerPoint presentations. If you upload them to SlideShare and then put that link in your tweet, that slideshare will automatically embed in your Twitter feed there as well, so people don't have to leave your Twitter feed to see those slides through SlideShare. So some really useful stuff there as well. Another way to market your business through Twitter is to import your contacts into Twitter. Twitter will allow you to take your email contacts, like through Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, or AOL, and upload them in there. They'll compare them to other Twitter users, and you can instantly connect that way with people that you already have in your contacts list through your email. So that's another way to find more people to follow on Twitter who then may turn around and follow you as well. Search. This sounds basic, but why don't you just search Twitter? Search in the search box for people that you know are in your product, your service, or your industry, deal with your products, or look for other businesses and so forth. Follow them. See what they're doing as well. If anything, it's just a good way to gather more information about your industry and find more people that maybe could help you as well. Advertising. Twitter has got a couple of advertising options at this point. There's a self-service Twitter ads and a full-service Twitter ads. The self-service, basically, you get charged when people follow your promoted account or retweet or reply or favorite or click on one of your promoted tweets. So it's a kind of a cost per click thing there. You do a lot of the heavy work. If you want someone to handle that for you, you go the full-service route. A little more expensive there. That's a good way to do more of a global campaign. A lot of your bigger companies are doing that as well. And then finally, just be useful. Just like with any of your other platforms, you need to be useful. Provide something of value on Twitter to help your customers or potential clients. Give them some information. Even at 140 characters, it can be done, but be useful to them as well. Can I help you? Can you help me? Is there something that I've left out that you think I should include in some useful Twitter tips? Go to crossdig.com. Send me your information there. Let me know what you think. I would love to share it with our audience, something that you have seen as a great success for Twitter or anything else for that matter, any kind of social networking you think is useful and can be useful to other people as well. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks.